I just wanted to post an update for you guys. We haven't updated in a while. So our vision of what we're creating at Live Sovereign is a picture of families living nearby each other, living more off the land, getting back in touch with nature, getting back in touch with God, getting back in touch with each other, and really just living a more simple life that's in connection with the way God designed it to be. We're going to build tiny homes for people that want to be part of this community. We're having people come and rent and stay and grow a garden, have some goats, have some chickens, and help run the Airbnbs and the campground. So we used to have a yurt. It is now an ex-yurt.
And packaging up the yurt so that someone can come pick it up and use it.
Aaron hand-built a yurt a few months ago just from some plans he found online, which I thought was pretty impressive. But we had never done one of these before. We were renting it out on Airbnb. And one of the things we didn't realize was just how quickly the canvas would get mildewy and moldy, which is not really the Airbnb experience you want people to have. Stop yelling, say ah. So most yurts actually have, we've learned this since, multiple layers. Usually there's this felt or even wool, that's the inside layer that really helps with that moisture barrier. And then you have several other layers coming out from there that provide insulation, waterproofing, weatherproofing, all that stuff. But you know, beginner's mistake, and they always say fail fast. So we actually have gone and ordered a bell tent instead that we're going to be putting on the platform. I'll go down and show you where that is. And that should be here in just a day or two, which is kind of cool. We can get that up and going. So as you can see, the lattice part of the yurt and the door are still up. So this platform is actually permanent. We're going to be putting a bell tent on this really soon. Here's the beautiful woods. This is about 4 acres of straight woods right here. We're going to put up more of these glamping units. We've got a nice little spot here with a hammock. Aaron built this picnic table. So this site should be back up and operational on Airbnb really soon. And we're adding some really cool stuff that should be drawing more people. One of the things that you really need on your property when you're doing this kind of thing is a wow factor. A wow factor can be anything that draws people to come to your place over others. A natural body of water, a lake, a river, a hot tub, a sauna, a pool. So a lake, a river, that's kind of hard to put on a piece of property that doesn't have one. So the wow factor that we're putting in is a complete hydrotherapy setup. Wood-fired hot tub, plunge pool, and eventually a sauna and a bathhouse. So right now we just have a porta potty, and you can imagine that only draws a certain kind of guest that's used to more primitive camping. Even if it's a glamping experience, you know, it's still, you're using the porta potty, you're cooking over the fire, stuff like that. So we're adding some really cool amenities and wow factors that really will help with that. And if you're gonna do anything like this, this is kind of a must if you wanna be able to charge more than like $20 or $30 a night. We're also putting in a communal space, communal fire pit where people can gather around the fire, get to know each other. The communal kitchen, which has a big gas grill and a bunch of other things, so people can actually hang out together, get to know each other, because that's part of the reason we're doing this. You know, we have Friday night bonfires for anybody that's in the campground and eventually the people that are living here. So I'm gonna go show you what's going on with that. So right now we just have this lovely bathhouse, which is also known as a porta potty, and there's a water spigot right next to it. But we're actually having our neighbor, who is runs a grading business, to clear out this whole area right here later this week, and that is where the wood-fired hot tub is gonna go. The sauna, the plunge pool, bathhouse, and we're getting started on that really soon. We're hopefully gonna have that done in a few weeks. And that's really gonna add that nice wow factor. And we actually have the hot tub right now, and I'll go show you. Right now we just have it by our house because we wanted to test it out a little bit. We don't have the space for it made. So this beauty is called a Snorkel hot tub. We found a brand online that we really liked. Aaron had considered making a wood-fired hot tub himself, which is totally doable, but We really like this particular one. We've been testing it out the last few nights. It's amazing. Look at this beautiful cedar. When you're inside, it just smells amazing. So how this works is you load up this back half with wood a few hours before you want to get in, and that'll get all roasty and heats up the rest of the hot tub. So inside of here you have this wood barrier that the stove's on one side, people are on the other side, and after a few hours it gets roasty toasty. It's this nice chimney. So when you're inside you get this amazing like wood smoke and cedar smell at the same time, which is amazing. We're finishing this guest cottage right here. It's been Aaron's workshop until now. We're finishing it for a bit of a longer term renter that should be moving in a month or two. And then right next to it, well, you see the mess right next to it since everything's outside. Right over here is a future RV site. Aaron has been clearing this out, and in just a day or two, we're gonna get some gravel dumped here, get it really cleared and nice looking for the people that are gonna be able to stay here. Aaron actually installed electric and water lines that come right over here. You can see the spigot right there. This obviously is still very messy, needs to get cleared out and fixed up for people. And then our camper Holly over there is actually gonna have some long-term residents that are moving in August, which is really cool. They're gonna be helping us out around here, you know, doing some Airbnb turnover, some website maintenance, and just general like helping out with caretaking for a discounted rate of staying here, which is like a win-win-win for everybody. That's really the way to do something like this, is to have people that live on the land, like live-in caretakers that work a certain number of hours for the business or for the land each week in exchange for a certain amount off their rent. So Aaron built this sign by hand. Again, he seems to have a thing with building things by hand. We were gonna order a sign, but we realized that he had all the tools, like a router and the creativity and everything he needed to make it himself, and I really, really like the end product. So what he did in the wood is, this is wood from our land. He got in the right shape and then printed out some letters from the computer and the logo, and like glued it onto the wood. And then he took his router and chiseled out all the lettering and all the details, so it was about maybe a couple millimeters deep. Then after that, spray painted it black, the whole thing. And then took a sander and sanded off everything other than what was deep enough to leave the black. And so you have this really cool effect that happened here, and I really like it. So right behind me here, we have 1 acre of really beautiful pine woods. This is what we're planning on turning into a little tiny home community eventually. But right now we actually have somebody that's coming later this week that's gonna camp here for a month or two, that's gonna be helping Aaron out with building things like the communal kitchen and all the different things that he's building in exchange for a decent camping rate. Right behind me, we have the communal fire pit that we're just about finishing. We need to put a couple more Adirondack chairs around it. And then over to this side over here is gonna be the communal kitchen where people can do all their cooking needs. There's a really loud bird right here. The other night there were 2 owls that woke me up in the middle of the night. I've never heard owls right outside my window. And I would have been cool with this, except the chicken coop is right over there. And I was like, I really hope Charlotte closed them up. Thankfully they were all fine. So there you have it. That's the progress we've made in the last couple weeks. And I hope you really like the tour. Let me know any other questions you have if you're curious about doing something like this yourself.